What's up, you amateurs? Welcome back to your favorite local football podcast here at the Sassel Pod. We are into our third episode already. Rounds 1 and 2 are in the books. It's all happening. Some incredible results over the weekend. Check out our Match of the Round highlights on our Facebook now, courtesy of Matt Hill. As ever, we're going to get into our results over the weekend. Divs 1, 2, 3, 4. See what's going on around the grounds. We got Pega Sports Goal of the Week. Some incredible submissions from across the grades. We got a C grade bicycle kick. We've got a halfway ding from our friends over there at West Beach Amateurs. It's all happening. And then we've got our Match of the Round interviews, courtesy of Matt Pill. Once again, the guy's bloody everywhere. He's like a rash, just all over the content, amateurs. And look, got some feedback last week. Less ranting, get straight into the results. And I understand, amateurs, there's no possible way that you can skip to the part you want in a video. So we'll take that in mind and we'll get straight into it. Without a further ado, amateurs, let's go. Amateurs, as always, we start with the Saturday Premier Division. But before I get into that, can we just take a moment, please, to have a look at this new Stirling Districts Football Club kit, courtesy of Pega Sports. Who else? I don't want anything else on my body. Let's have a look. Can we just? The aces down the side, the detailing, the collar. My God, Costa is an absolute... He's an absolute job doer, amateurs. If you want it done, Costa will do it. Get in touch with Pega now. Thank you. All right. We start with Gleeson FC, 4-2 winners over USC Lion. Tough start to the season for USC, but Gleeson with their first ever win in the Premier Division. It's emotional, and the goals, amateurs, came from some sources I'm very familiar with. I've recently just got, I just got back surgery from picking the ball out of the net over the last few seasons, from goals from Lucas Fazzini. That man knows where the net is, amateurs. He grabbed two. One in the 44th and 48th minute. Balsamo, he scored in the 75th. And then it was that man, David Altamura, sealing the deal in the 85th. 2 goals for USC came from Curtis Cracknell. A passionate young man he is. Our next game, amateurs, we go to a place I like to call Margaret Bond Oval. And it looked like an instant classic between two of our Saturday's finest. Old Ignatians versus Adelaide Titans. Oscar Tobin got things up and running for Iggy's in the 24th minute. Julian Sartoretto. Sarts must have been 2 big headers for the big fella. He scored 2, 46th and 60th. Fresh off his wedding with his beloved bride. We congratulate Sarts for that. And then Fabio Timpano in the 83rd amateurs. Lovely stuff. And for the Titans, away from home with a gutsy performance, Adamir Matzo, 14th minute. Taki Sialafos in the 52nd and 55th. And then Wingardium Leviosa in the 68th minute. 30. He is 30. Just so we're clear. And then Bossa and Modbury Jets. A great result for Bossa. 1-1. 1-1 over there. George Karakitsios, he got things up and running in the 69th minute for Bossa, but just before that, it was Joel Gray in the 64th minute. Joel's looking to have another huge year for the Jets. 1-1. Great game by all. You love seeing it, amateurs. You bloody love seeing it. And then Sturt Marion, what a result for them in our Saturday Premier Division Southern Derby. I tipped South Coast to have a huge year. Looks like they're off to a bit of a tough start, but it's only round 2. And thank God it's only round 2 for these boys, my boys. It was Andre Enrique das Neves Vincente in the 31st minute. That was enough to separate the two southern rivals in Sturt Marion's 1-0 win over South Coast. A great bounce back from Sturt Marion after last week. And Pitbulls debuting Cockburn Green. It was a 1-1 draw with St. Peter's. St. Peter's got off to the better start. It was Jay Recchia in the 5th minute, but then Jamie Recchia in the 5th minute, but Pitbulls responded in the 82nd minute with Faye Banyankin Daji. Would have been scenes over there at Cockburn Green. We hope Pibbles can get their first win in the season next week. Okay, that is the Saturday Premier Division amateurs. Now, if I miss any games, amateurs, it's not through lack of trying. It's not through a deliberate ploy to forget you and your beloved club. It's that it may not come up on Dribble. So let's keep that in mind. Okay, we look at Adelaide Uni versus Stirling Districts, and it was 2-1 to the mighty Adelaide Uni. Great facilities down there. Barbecue was absolutely pumping. Shout out to Adelaide Uni Soccer Club for hosting. It's always a good battle with them. They got off to the better start through a goal from Alexander Seaboth. A moment of confusion, if you will, from our centre back and our goalkeeper. A little bit of, I don't know, man. And then he headed it in and it dribbled over the line. It oozed over the line. It was great. And then Ben Matthews, he's always there or thereabouts, amateurs. He capitalised on some lackluster passing, maybe. And he scored to go 2-0 up. And then Josh Kidman with a free kick just 2 minutes later to respond. The Stirling boys kept peppering the goal, but it wasn't enough. And Adelaide Uni with a well-deserved 3 points. So, yeah. That's that one. And then Adelaide Blue Eagles, they've gotten off to a beautiful start in the second division amateurs. They beat Adelaide Pumas 2-0, meaning they are undefeated. And unfortunately, I cannot see any goal scorers for this one. So shout out to Adelaide Blue Eagles. 1 draw, 1 win. Let's Oge. And then Monarchs making it 2 from 2 with a gutsy 4-3 win over Salisbury Sharks. I heard it was a last-minute winner. Let's look at the lineup, see if Dribble has provided us with goal scorers. It has. For the mighty Monarchs, the goal scorers were Nicky Joe Caruso in the 65th, Douglas O'Neill, 49th and 70th, and then Dario Fabretto in the 85th. He had a cracking game in round 1. He was absolutely dominating that midfield. So shout out to him. And then for Salisbury Sharks, there was a goal to Michael Makakwana in the 79th. Michael Lewis, he got himself a goal in the 60th. And do we have a goal from anyone else? Dribble? Can't see it. Sure, someone else managed to score, though. That's lovely stuff. All right, amateurs. Next game, MA Hawks got their season off up and running with a 2-1 win over Adelaide Red Blue Eagles, who, of course, have come down from the Saturday Premier Division. Let's have a look at the goal scorers, see what we're dealing with. Jake Alal and Stefan Leblanc scored for MA Hawks, and for Adelaide Red Blue Eagles, it was Juan Ferrero. John Mastropolo on the bench. Goodness gracious me. How did that news not come across my desk? That's wow. Just wow. Love that. Good to see Johnny Boy putting the boots on again. That's absolutely huge, man. And then Elizabeth Grove getting their Division 2 campaign off to a flyer. 2 games, 2 wins. They've come down from the first division there looking to make a statement. They were 4-3 winners over Croydon Cougars. Not an easy side to beat, amateurs. The goals came from Abdullah Jawas, Sebastian Mabilo, William Foster. And for Croydon Cougars, it was Zach Zoyner. He's a Cougar, the former West Adelaide man, the former Christian brother, and it was another Christian brother in Michael Izzo who scored for the Croydon Cougars. Look forward to playing those chaps in about a week's time, 2 weeks' time. Beautiful. Okay, amateurs. Now we go over to Division 3. It was One Tree Hill Soccer Club. 2-1 victors over Salisbury Villa. We will have Luke Matthews from the Billy Goats coming into the studio in a few weeks' time. Very much look forward to that, amateurs. But the Billy Goats are up and running this season. Looking the goods. Billy Pashalidis scored in the 26th for the Billy Goats. Oh, and there it is. Bradley Matthews in the 88th minute, sending the home side into raptures. Look at this team. Thomas Falkenberg, Dylan Milhench, Joel Milhench. Good God, they've been busy. They've been busy. Few absolute battlers in that side. And for Salisbury Villa, it was Henry Fan who scored in the 67th minute. Shout out to Henry. Shout out to Villa. We will have an interview from a few boys from One Tree Hill and Salisbury Villa in the match of the round content, amateurs, as they were our match of the round. Obviously. Idiot. Okay, and then it was a 2-2 draw between Adelaide Dragons Sporting Club and Northern Wolves. Let's see the goal scorers if we can. If we can. No, we can't. You're just gonna have to fill in the blanks, amateurs. But always a good game when Adelaide Dragons Sporting Club come up against Northern Wolves. Just look at that badge. That might have just shot into my top 5 badges in the league, amateurs. I don't say that lightly. That's a distinguished list that I slave over day in, day out. Our next game, we have Anglevale, their Saturday side. Don't forget, they were 2-1 victors over Fizzy. That's a huge result for the boys. The goals for Anglevale came from Dylan Blackmore, Jareth Stocker, and the goals from Fizzy came from Bennett Joseph. That's absolutely huge. Great result for Anglevale Foxes in their Saturday team. And then BIH United. Shout out to the BIH boys. Alec Athanasiou still there. You broke my heart, Alec. You broke my heart, and you could have been wearing this. But I respect the decision, brother, and I wish you all the very best. The goals came from BIH United against ADFC in their 4-2 win. The goals came from... No, not coming up. All good. 4-2 to BIH United. Shout out to the boys. And then our final game. Wowee. 6-4 Murray Bridge versus Prince Alfred. 6-4 to Murray Bridge. A massive, massive result for the Bridge, turning around last week's defeat. The goals came from, geez, do I even have enough RAM in my computer to elucidate such information? Yes, I do. Kieran Shook-Smith, he scored 4. Richter Judy, he scored 1. And who else? A red card, 2 yellow. Who else scored for the Bridge? Doesn't say. That's okay. 2 goals came from Josh Bushell and Oakley Jackson for PAC. Another one came from Zach Unakov. Oh, and there was an own goal. There it is. Own goal to Paul O for the mighty Murray Bridge. And a goal to Jerry Carper Jr. off the bench for PAC. 6-4. That's Div 3. Now let's have a look at Saturday Div 4. Old Iggy's 2-1 over Strathalbyn Strikers. Southern Breakers and Adelaide Brassfoot played out a 1-1 draw over there at Breakers Park. Great name, great badge. And then FC Summit lost 4-1 to Western United. And now, amateurs, we trickle on over to the Sunday Premier Division. It was the big trip for Salisbury Inter as they headed off to Savoy. And it was Savoy, as they so often do at home, came out the victors in their 2-1 victory. The goals came from Samuel Spadavecchia for Savoy, and for Salisbury Inter, the goal came in the very first minute to Poojan Rai. Shout out to Poojan. And then our second game, amateurs. Tea Tree Gully going from strength to strength. They are absolutely killing it so far this year. They were 3-1 victors over Anglevale Soccer Club, who have rebranded their badge. And my gosh, it looks amazing. That fox looks scary, man. Looks scary. All right, the goals came from the following sources, amateurs. Kyle Markham in the 23rd for Gully. Jacob Williams, the captain. Willow, 59th. And then Dylan Lamerton, the big centre back in the 14th. For Anglevale, it was Anthony Troiani in the 40th minute. We hope the Mighty Foxes can bounce back and start putting their flag into the Sunday Premier Division ground, as it were. And then, Ingle Farm. 3-0 over Para Hills East. No wonder Jet didn't want to come in the pod this week, even though he never does. Never does. Too big for his boots. That's okay. Whatevs. Nonetheless, Jairus Whiten is at Para Hills East. Jairus Whiten is at Para Hills East, and no one told me. Holy smokes. That is so huge. Pretty cut, no one told me, but nonetheless, I hope Jairus has an amazing year. Wow. Holy smokes. That's huge, man. Nonetheless, it's not about that. It's about Ingle Farm's illustrious 3-0 win. A goal to Jaden Gligoric in the 58th minute. A goal to Connor O'Donnell in the 88th, and a goal to Andrew Philippou in the 51st. Wowee, what a monumental result for the Farm. Knew they were going to be good this year. Hope they absolutely smash it. Okay, I think our last game is Modbury Soccer Club versus Para Hills West. It was our match of the round. Cracking set of highlights, some controversy, what have you. We'll get into that. But it was Modbury Soccer Club who are absolutely on a heater. A draw with Downs and then a 3-2 win. And oh my goodness, it was different gravy. In the 10th and 65th minute, he's a striker's striker. He's a man's man. He's just, oh God, he is absolutely glorious. He scored 2, and then it was Alexander Jorem in the 48th. And the 2 goals for Para Hills West came from Lucas Skirving and Usmanu Mahamudu. We'll get into the highlights. We'll get into the interviews later, amateurs. But for now, we go down to Division 2. And before we go into our round 2 results, I've got to cover what I missed last week, and that was a 2-2 draw between Garn and Adelaide Eagles. 2 of our absolute finest clubs here in this amateur community. So let's see who the goal scorers were. Faiz Naziri scored in the 33rd for Garn, and Kuudio Kwaku in the 84th. I'm sorry, brother, if I mispronounce it. I'm sure I did. Let me know. And then for Adelaide Eagles, it was Enrico Selmani. He scored in the 77th. And Jetmir Nicola, great name, in the 44th. So that's good to see. Shout out to both sides. They will be there or thereabouts this year, amateurs, I can assure you that. But West Beach, a 4-0 trouncing of Southern Knights. Not an easy feat to do, amateurs. Let's have a look at the goal scorers, please. They were hard done by not to get promoted last year, so we wish them the very best in their quest to do that. Dominic Lamont in the 44th, Ryan Charles in the 13th, and Lewis Willett in the 11th and 39th. For the mighty West Beach in their 4-0 victory over Southern Knights. Garn and Adelaide Atletico to be precise, they played out a 1-1 draw. Adelaide Atletico off to a great start, I might add, in their Division 2 campaign. The goal for them came from Marcus Flores in the 73rd minute. On the bench, comes on, gets the job done for his side. Would have loved to have seen that. 2 yellow cards to Hedman Dadzi, resulting in a red card for Garn. Wasn't there, don't know the context, but I can assure you my boy Hedman did nothing wrong. I can assure you. And then, there he is again. Kuadio Kwaku in the 24th minute. He scored for Garn. 2 goals, 2 weeks. Shout out to KK. Shout him out, boys. And then our third game, Adelaide Eagles. Wow. 5-2 win over Para Hills United. Perhaps it is bad luck to have your gear brandished on the pod. For the Para Hills Knights, boys, fell to the sword of the Adelaide Eagles. Goal scorers for the Adelaide Eagles came from Dennis Bakaj, a hat-trick to Alexander Dimas, and a goal to Jetmir Nicola. 2 goals in 2 weeks for Jetmir. Let's Oge. Aaron Riggy Smalls back up and running for the season. He scored for Para Hills United. And Declan Williams, his league debut for the club. Obviously, he scored and a yellow as well. Death and taxes, my dear amateurs. All right, 2 to go. Goodness gracious me. Parafield Gardens 5, FK Beograd 5. And now that I got the big screen in front of me, amateurs, I'm getting a new perspective on some of these badges. And FK Beograd they need to be mentioned as well. That is quite the logo. But nonetheless, 5-5 draw, an instant classic, if you will, amateurs. The goals came from James Gallagher. Gags. Good to see him trucking about, 33rd and 89th. And Morris Darn, 2 CBC boys. You absolutely love to see it. Morris got himself a hat-trick. Lads, send me some of that content, please. I'd love to see it. And Aaron Westervelt's also trucking about for Parafield Gardens. That's good to see. The goals for FK Beograd came from Miroslav Merkovic, great name, Surdan Semiz, and then Chad Bujaya. He scored 2. We're missing another goal scorer, but that's okay. Good to see Chad still out and about. 5-5. What an absolute classic. All right, and then the Raptors with a huge win over Elizabeth Vale. 5-2 it was. The goal scorers were Evan Desanglois. And then what a day out for Emilian Raffier. 2 yellow cards and a hat-trick. And then the 2 goals for the mighty Elizabeth Vale came from Daniel Maguire and James Greaves. That's enough for the second division. Let's rip through these amateurs. We're on a bit of a sketch. Division 3, Metro Stars 5-0 over Roe Park. Huge result. Payne and Postal Lions, another instant classic. 5-4 victors over Modbury Vista Soccer Club. Seaford were much too strong for Manu Para in their 5-1 victory over there at Coringal Reserve, mind you. And then Virginia United, they lost 4-1 to AC Unido. We have a submission from Salvatore Romano for AC Unido in our Pega Sports Goal of the Week. Look forward to seeing that. Didn't look like Adelaide Kukuri had a game. No worries at all whatsoever. And then Division 4, my one with a 7-2 victory over Macedonia United. That's bloody huge. And then the Cove, their first win in our association, if my facts serve me well. 4-3 over Andrews Farm. Shahid Bhagat Singh, they beat Adelaide, Croatia, Vukovic 2-1. And that, amateurs, is the results. Amateurs, it's that time. It's that time once again to see the very best of the goals and the skill and the bravado and the expression of our amateur community in the Pega Sports Goal of the Week.
Pega Sports Goal of the Week.
Amateurs, we start with West Beach. Now, this goal actually occurred last week, but hey, I'm a flexible Freddy. No one sent it in, but Matt Peel did what he always does, and he clutched up, and he sent it to me. I believe it was a young man by the name of Connor McManus, Rove McManus, depending on your knowledge of early 2000s Australian TV. But he scored this goal, and I'm not even going to explain it. Let's just have a look. Mate, I'm not sure if the keeper didn't expect it. I don't know what was going on. But I don't think anyone expected young Connor there to hit that ball with such sweet purity. Connor, he's up and running. And amateurs, I mean, look, this footage existed. And it almost didn't find its way into my grubby little fingers. Now, that would have been quite the shame if young Connor wasn't bestowed with the gift, the opportunity to possibly win himself a life-changing pair of Pega Grip socks. So, West Beach, come on, boys. Got to be sending that stuff in. Gots to be. And now, amateurs, we go to Adelaide Eagles versus Para Hills United. I believe this was in the C grade. Now, if you want to speak on the on just how good a blokes there are running around at Para Hills United, my man Nick, who I played a game of cricket with and made one run off 20 deliveries, he sent this in, and he plays for Para United. So this was actually from an Adelaide Eagles player in the C grade. Not sure of his name, nor was Nikolai, but Adelaide Eagles, Larim, reach out. Let me know who this is, if he wins, obviously. Either way, let me know. I want to know who's trucking about scoring these sorts of goals, actually. But yeah, this is a Adelaide Eagles C grade player doing the damn thing. Gosh, it looks physical. Gosh, it looks scary. Good save. Chest. Oh my days. Oh my goodness. A bicycle kick in the C grade. Man, this amateur community, huh? You pinch yourself, don't you? All right. We got one more goal, and it was sent to me by Carlo Troncone from AC Unido. As always, I thank him ever so much for his support and his engagement, and just what him and George are cooking over there in the Unido realm. This is a man by the name of Salvatore Romano, and yeah, AC Unido, they're up and running. Amateurs, keep an eye out. The pitch lined with black lines. That's huge. Look at the Corellas gathering. Even they can't miss this action. Salvatore! Hang on. Bloody hell's happened there? Someone get this guy some cable ties. Wagwan with that. Did the ball go in or not? Let's have another look. Chest it down. Flick. Oh no, it has. It's just gone straight through. Bloody hell. Salvatore! What a hit, my son. What an absolute hit that is. Okay, that narrows it down to 3. All right. We have Salvatore Romano's Fox in the Box work. That is really clinical from him. Not his fault, but I'm a little bit put off by the fact that it went through the net. So, and then we have a bicycle kick in C grade from the fine folks over there at Adelaide Eagles. And then we started off with, what do we have? Oh, we had the halfway goal from West Beach from Connor McManus. I, amateurs, am going to give the goal to our dear friend from the Adelaide Eagles. That was quite a hit. A bicycle kick. Look, if there's a bicycle kick, it's going to be hard to beat, amateurs. Salvatore, you were close. Connor, you were close. Keep sending it in, boys. And yeah, Eagles, reach out. Who was it? I'll let them know. I'll send them what's rightfully theirs. And that's a pair of Pega grip socks, which I did pick up today from Costa at Pega, but I left it in my car, so I'm actually a fool, a classic fool, as Alan Rickman says in Love Actually. What a film. Okay, amateurs, now we are going to transcend Pega Sports Goal of the Week, and we are going to get into our match of the round content. We have interviews from 4 absolute kings of our various clubs. We've got Jeff McCormack. He needs no introduction there, amateurs. He's an absolute king over there at Modbury Jets Soccer Club. Jared Ebert from Para Hills West. Liam Redelack from Salisbury Villa. And Dylan Milhench from the mighty Billy Goats. So keen to get a few Billy Goats here in the studio. We'll have to, we'll have to order some hay. Order some hay. All right, let's get straight into it.
Okay, so this is where the confusion lies. That the club has actually started in 1965. The actual amateur arm of the club started 6 years ago in Division 4, and we've now progressed to Division 1, which has been very satisfying for the club. I think the club's been around for so long, we've got a real community feel. A lot of the boys are local, and all their mates are down here with them. So it's just a great feel and a family-orientated club. Look, I think it's a standard answer that obviously we want to maintain our position in Division 1 and be competitive in every game we play. Apart from that, we'll see what happens. We've had a good couple of weeks on the track, a good result last week, and we're fairly confident that we maintain the way we've been playing with the players we got. We'll come out with some points.
Sure, so we're a long-standing club now. Founded in 1967, so that's when our juniors first came onto the scene. And it wasn't until 1978 when we first developed our senior team. That only lasted for a few years, kind of fell to pieces. And then there's a few boys who are still around here now that came to the committee and said, let's bring this back. So that was in 1991. Started in Div 7, and we've worked our way up to the first division now, so pretty big and good effort. I think I mentioned it just before. The best thing about playing football for Westies is that it's a family club. It's the kind of place you want to be around, but it also is highly competitive. We've got a lot of young players out here, a lot of people who want to play for each other. You've got people like the Tays who come down every single week, and they work hard. They just do it obviously for the club. They're very passionate, and I think that passion just transcends to everyone else. So we absolutely, I think you could talk to anyone here. We all play for the shirt, so it's a great place to be around. Plans for the club, I think it's pretty much like everyone says. We're now one of those teams who've fixed ourselves within the first division. We've probably for the last few seasons been sitting mid-table. I think the goal would be to be one of those teams that people come up against and are in the top 4. Obviously everyone says they want to win the league. We won the cup a few years back now. The league's obviously the goal, but it's obviously probably a long way to achieve that. But we've got people like Moggy down who this year brought in quite a few new players, and I think it's probably becoming more and more achievable. Well, I'm not playing today, but no, it's my preparation was having a few beers last night and watching the footy, but yeah, I mean, the rest of the boys have been working hard on the training pitch, and I know most of them wouldn't have had beers, but they probably have. But I know most players out of the team seem to work hard, eat well the night before, and yeah, I assume their preparation's been good. That's all I can say. But I'm just here to watch. I think we're going to work hard to get the 3 points out there, deal with the heat, and I think be the better team. Cheers.
The club was founded in 1983. Started up with a couple of boys who played soccer at different clubs, family and friends. Used to play at the Oval down the street. However, they were like, why don't we start our own thing, and ended up creating Salisbury Villa, going to the Northern League down in first up, and then started going into the Amateur League after that in 1987. We got a great group of senior and youth coming through, especially with the women's team as well. We've got a great committee here as well, and they do a great job providing for us and making the place such a great place to play football. Just to create a good brand of football that kind of encapsulates the community that we're from and the origin of the club. Working really hard, commitment to each other, and just overall discipline. Really good. After a bit of a shocking year last year, we're ready to bounce back and really get those points on the board going for promotion. So easy.
So the history of the club, I think the club was founded in 1998. I was here in about 2021. Since then, we were in Div 2. The club we were successful in that division, but since then we did have a bit of a folding, so we had to come back, start in Div 6, and now we're slowly trying to make our way back up. So here we are in Division 3, and yeah, that's where we are right now. It's such a great place to play just because all the boys are so local. We stick together, we've got a good camaraderie within the boys. Training's always good fun up at the hill. Just the culture around the club is really good and positive state, and just with a young bunch as well, a young coach, I think we're really thriving. Pretty cliche for the goals moving forward, I guess, is to get to Div 1. I don't think the club's ever been in Div 1 before, so the goal was to really get to Div 1, I guess. Yeah, so big push this year and hopefully we can get there. We've had a strong week on the track. Boys have been working hard. We feel like we've got a strong side today, so hopefully we can give it to them. We know Salisbury Villa have come down from Division 2 last year. We've come up from Division 4, so it should be belter. So hopefully we can get a few goals in and get 3 points today.
All right, amateurs, there you go. Always a pleasure to hear some around the grounds insights from our beloved amateur community. Shout out to Jeff McCormack's tattoos. Never seen them before. Jeff, stop that. Jared Ebert, he was a bit of a hunk as well. Liam Redelack, one of the all-time great blokes. Always have a beer with him after our battles over the years. And Dylan Milhench, good to see the Milhenches back into the South Australian football system. Look forward to catching up with them soon. Joel, get into the pod when Luke comes in. Be good to catch up with you, mate. Australia's best plumber. And that's it, amateurs. Man, couldn't do it without Matt Pill. Couldn't do it without the pod booth. Couldn't do it without you all. So thank you so much. We'll see you next week.